I had a whole video recorded and edited discussing the Resident Evil 8 rumours, spent a lot of time on it, even created some photoshops to go along with it for visual cues, and like, as soon as I go to upload it, this happened. I'm not complaining, but it's just, god damn it, my timing was off. A lot of stuff has happened since my last Resident Evil video. It's kind of an exciting time to be a Resident Evil fan, mostly. A game that wasn't very good came out. Rumours about a game that nobody wants came out. And then, I was gonna say rumours about Resident Evil 8 were coming out, but we're kind of past that point now. The actual game's been shown off and announced. And I'm just gonna say, I think it looks really good. Like, in all honesty, when I read the rumours about Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village, I was incredibly excited. I just wasn't sure if that was what they would actually do, but they have, and it looks really good. So I'm going to go into that in a wee bit, but first I'm going to discuss some of the other Resident Evil oriented things that have happened. I'll start off with the release of Resident Evil 3 in April there. I didn't really like it. Look, it's not an awful game, it's just, for starters, I'm not a huge fan of over-the-shoulder Resident Evil. Never really have been. I mean, I got my start with like Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Revelations. I started playing the over-the-shoulder games, and even then, they still are my least favourite version of Resident Evil, shall we say. Which is why I and many others get worried when you see so many idiots posting about how
first person isn't Resident Evil.
You get worried that Capcom might buckle and stop going down the path that they're going at the minute. Now, Resident Evil 3 just kind of felt lazy and, well, I don't want to say uninspired, but it felt like they were basically remaking it because they had to remake it because people were asking, without actually showing any care to Resident Evil 3 and its source material. I'm not even talking about all the reused assets from RE2 and RE7 as a matter of fact, because that's the same damn pair of bolt cutters I've seen in the past 3 games, but more just the stuff they cut from the original game. There's no clock tower, well, that you can explore. A lot of the enemies and bosses are cut, no gravedigger. Just so much removed from the game that was just kind of like, why? And the facility at the end, I think it's Nest 2 it's called, was a joke, because now the game just feels like it's RE2 all over again, instead of having the unique ending that RE3 did have on the in the clock tower. To be honest, actually, the game's best quality was its soundtrack, which is something that the previous game, RE2, was its worst quality, so that's one thing they got right. Although not all of the music tracks in the game were, well, made for RE3, and what I mean by that is, some games, they win you over with the demos, and RE3 was one of those. I didn't want it until I actually played the demo and realised I actually wouldn't mind giving this a try. And that initial shot we go out into the street and the music it plays, the sort of like creepy ambient music when you're running through Raccoon City, it was really cool, but I felt like I'd heard it before. And I was right, they stole it straight from RE7. All in all, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, I'd check RE3 out. I just, like, personally, because I'm not a huge fan of the over-the-shoulder Resident Evil games, I didn't really care about it too much. Moving on to the next thing that happened, we've talked about remakes. Now, I'm really just kind of not a fan of the Resident Evil remakes at this point. The only one I've actually enjoyed, to the point that I'd say it's better than the original, was the first remake. Yeah, the sort of things that are being bounced about the minute are a possible RE4 remake, which I think is a colossal money grab and a waste of time. When you're getting to the point that you're remaking the 4th game in the series, it's kind of like, just calm down there, son. A Code Veronica remake, which a lot of people want, and I would certainly rather have that than an RE4 remake, but I don't even want that. I'd rather they just took the like HD version of Code Veronica that was on PS3, sort of made it look even better, fixed a few things, added a few things, and put that out on Steam, PlayStation and Xbox and Switch, I don't even care. And then somewhere out there on the internet there's a small minority of brainlets that think it would be a good idea to remake Resident Evil 1 in third person again. No. It's time to move on to the meat and potatoes of everything that was announced. Resident Evil Village, or RE8, whatever you want to call it. But yes, all the rumours leading up to Resident Evil 8 were true. There's a lot to unpack in this trailer, so I'm going to go through it bit by bit here. I'll highlight a few things I'd like to discuss and what it might mean, and you get the drift. It's a trailer breakdown, you know the gist. The first thing we're greeted to in the trailer is the line, "His story comes to a close." Now, there's a whole manner of things you could derive from that. I don't know if they're referring to either Chris Redfield's story, or Ethan Winter's story, or someone else's story. I have no idea. I'm gonna bet it's one of those two. It's either Chris or Ethan. I think it might be Chris. I have a hunch this might be Chris Redfield's last game, and I kinda hope it is, because I'm all for Capcom taking risks with the story and with the gameplay. And now we get a look at the werewolves. Now, I think the design for the werewolves look great. I would actually, unlike the Photoshop that I made, I actually think it's a lot better than being more humanoid, sort of. You can tell that it's a human that's transformed into one of these, because that'll keep it, you know, within the realm of believability. A lot of people like to, for some reason, put a label on Resident Evil that it has to be about viruses, it has to be about outbreaks. It doesn't, but it'll keep those people happy, because at least, you know, this looks like it's something that's been done to someone, like it's, you know, they've transformed, whether it be through virus or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of people coming out with ridiculous statements like,
werewolves can't be in Resident Evil, it's just not Resident Evil to have werewolves in it.
And it's like, fuck off. It's not like there's some sacred textbook of like, oh, this has to be in every Resident Evil game, and all this shit. You know, I honestly feel some of the people that criticise the new direction they've went with RE7 and now RE8, they kind of just want to be spoon-fed the same shit for the rest of their lives. You know, the same characters doing the exact same thing, fighting the exact same enemy types, in the exact same camera perspectives, just for the rest of their lives. I, for one, and I think the majority of the Resident Evil fanbase, don't want that. We actually like to see a new direction being taken, and something different than we played before, which I'm extremely excited to see in Resident Evil 8. This looks, to me, based on the setting and the characters, even more exciting than the direction they took in 7. And 7's my, you know, 7 would be my second favourite in the series, only second to the remake of the first game. Chris. Right, I like his new design, but I'm still sticking by my guns. I didn't hate his RE7 design. I actually kind of liked it quite a lot. It looked like an older version of his RE1 remake design, and he looked like a human. And of course he looks like a human here, so that's not too bad. But I do kind of wish they'd have kept his RE7 design, but I suppose if this new design sort of shuts up a lot of the, you know, idiots that were going on about it, then that's okay, that's good. But Yeah, I don't hate his new design. I like it. It obviously looks like his. It looks more like his RE6 design, but a bit more, you know, like a human being. And of course, just like the rumors suggest it, he is, well, killing Mia with 5 gunshots, I might add. Now, obviously, a huge part of the game is hallucination, so I don't know how much of this is real. Maybe this didn't happen. I've no idea. But all I'm saying is, I'm not opposed to the idea of Chris being a villain. I actually kind of like the idea, if I'm honest. First off, obviously, like they say there, the game is not actually coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, like the rumours had said. I'm not opposed to this as much as I thought I'd be. From what they're saying, they're really trying to take advantage of the hardware inside the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, so all the better for Resident Evil 8 in my opinion. In all honesty, when they said that for the first time, I actually got a bit worried, because obviously upping the ante on action in Resident Evil has had a history of bad outcomes, shall we say. But I don't think that's quite what they mean here. I think what they mean is, because Resident Evil 7 had its fair share of action, but it also was kind of slow. So I'm thinking maybe, especially the rumours that they're saying about how the werewolves are really fast paced, I think it's just more, not that it's full blown action, you know, first person shooter shit. I think it's just, you have to be a bit more aware and quick to move when it comes to reacting to a situation. Maybe if you're getting charged by a werewolf or something like that, I don't know. To anyone else that was getting worried about that, I don't think that means quite like what it sounds like. I think it means they're just maybe speeding things up a wee bit more than it was in RE7, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a much wider open space in RE Village, I'm assuming, so this should be fine. One of the last points I want to focus on here, because that I wanted to keep to the end, is the fact that it's kept the first person perspective. I am unbelievably happy they have. You know, I mean, I was pretty confident they were going to, but you read enough idiotic comments from people that I guess don't really understand Resident Evil, or I guess survival horror in general, fuck even game design at this point. You listen to them gurn about how it's not Resident Evil to have first person or anything that's not been done before in Resident Evil, and it, you know, it's really annoying. It's almost like these people believe there's some kind of fucking like secret textbook that Capcom have to go by, that it's like a rule book that keeps them informed as to how they have to make a Resident Evil game. It's like, no, they can do what they want, and I'm happy to see them taking massive risks here. You get the kind of sense after you read some of the comments that these people say, it's kind of like they just want to be spoon-fed the exact same game for the rest of their life. Thankfully, the rest of us we kind of know that that's not what's good for the series. We kind of know that it should take a different direction every now and again. So I hope they at least keep this horror-focused first-person direction for at least another 2 games, like 8 and 9. That way, 1 to 3 got the fixed cameras, 4 to 6 got the over-the-shoulder. At least give 7 to 9 first-person, you know, let it run its course. After that, I wouldn't be opposed to them keeping it, but also if they want to change it, I guess, fine, but at least we got 3 solid first-person games. So I hope Resident Evil 8, you know, thankfully it's first-person, and I hope the 9th installment is the same.
Here lie Squidward's hopes and dreams.